Welcome. Having a conversation with a woman. Well, specifically men having conversations with women. You know, all through my time, I had a few deep conversations with women, but not many. Most of them were pretty on the doesn't really matter mode sort of thing. Very sort of flaky, right? I mean, men are different, right, than women are. Good. But men ask and think, what if? They like the old what ifs. And they like to sort of do scenarios. I mean, we've all gone out drinking, haven't we? At night, us guys have a few drinks, sort the world out, fix the problems, you know. And by the time the evening's over, we've actually completely cured the world of loads of different things, and all the problems have been fixed. Mind you, it's taken a few beers, but we done it. And of course, in the morning, it's a bit foggier than it was that night. But, well, you know what I mean. But women don't do that, see. They don't ask what if, right? Because it's all about just them, right? It's got to be about them. If the conversation isn't about them or something that immediately affects them, it's not important conversation, right? That's why if you have a conversation with a woman about makeup, it's an important conversation because it's about them, right? For instance, if you've got a guy who's on his first date and he says something like, well, if that caldera ever goes off at Yellowstone, it will not only affect America, but it will affect the whole world. Yeah, he might get a fair, brief response from that one. Usually what I've seen when a man is talking to a woman, the man usually always tries to make it about something she's interested in, right? To try and make the conversation go somewhere. I hardly ever saw a woman talk to a man about what interests him, you know, to get the conversation going. Have you ever seen a woman that sits down and says, hey, what about that 58 Chevy then? Was it so iconic? I mean, did the style come around, you know, accidentally? And what about the motor? What's under the hood? Was it really that good a motor? Yeah, you don't often hear a lot of women do that, do you? Well, except that girl on My Cousin Vinny. I mean, she knew her stuff, man. That was a hell of a good movie. You see, guys, the conversation always has to be about her. She is the most important thing in there, in that place or wherever she is. She's the most important person there. And it's all about her, right? You hardly really register. Now, if that caldera in Yellowstone had already gone off a little bit, he might have got a better response. Because now that that's gone off, it might affect her personally, right? In some way, which is, that's important now, see, if it's affecting her. We've all witnessed that woman who comes into a public place or something with their kids, usually a brood of them, and they're unruly, they're kicking things, they're screaming, and the woman does absolutely nothing to control them in any way, right? That's because she now is the most important thing in that place, right? Right? She is the important one. And if anybody says anything, especially a man, to say, please control your children, they will get a foul-mouthed tirade back from her, right? Because how dare this person? She is the most important thing there. What were they thinking? And you men out there, and even you young guys and guys that have been married before and you know, you've got girlfriends now. You know this one, where the woman all of a sudden starts paying attention to you, starts showing you some affection. You know, all of a sudden you are important to her. And it's because she needs you to do something for her, right? And once you've done that for her, you will be sent back to you're not important anymore and be quite ignored a lot of the times. You guys kind of remember that happening in your lives? I do. So, did this woman become such a self-important person in such an obnoxious way, in a grand scale way? Is it nature's way for the woman to be like that? I can't think of any reason why nature would make something like that. A self-entitled person like that. That is basically self-importance, spoiled, entitled, a child in an adult body. Actually, some of them are quite big adult bodies. Society has made these things now, what they become. And it's a damn shame, because they become so self-important to themselves that nothing, and I mean nothing else, matters. Only what orbits them, only what is going to affect them personally, right? You see women together talking, don't you? You know, three of them or something like that. And if you notice, they're always trying to be the more important person in the conversation, right? All the time. They're doing it all the time because they are the most important person there. Three of them? Bit tricky. So remember, guys out there, when you're talking to women, make them the most important person on the planet, right? And you will be able to have a conversation with them and talk about everything that's just immediate to them. And you will have a conversation. Mind you, you might nod off halfway through, but sometimes it is a struggle to talk to women and have any form of reasonable conversation. Now, not every woman is like that, are they? There are women that I've had great conversations with, but it's not often, as far as I could tell. Is it, guys? Do you kind of agree with that? And why is that? Or not? Thanks for listening.